to another edition of No Holds Barred Podcast. David Joseph, Marcus Pierre, the usual suspects. But on this episode, that's right, part 2 of this episode, we have our special guest, Nathan Feinberg, a.k.a. Dox DaVinci.
What's going on?
Did I nail that?
You did nail that.
Yeah, all right.
That was really good.
All right. So we're gonna talk more to Nathan, ask him our questions. And Nathan, let me ask you more about the wrestling product. Coming off of this draft, you did mention that you did like the sports-like feel it gave. Now that it's over, do you feel like SmackDown and Raw are truly equal and balanced when it comes to talent?
I think that they're getting there. They're definitely in the right direction. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, though. And the draft was definitely the first boulder that needed to be moved in order for things to start flowing for the WWE. Because I use this metaphor, it's like a dam right now. There's there's like a whole bunch of stuff on one side ready to go, but there's just been like this block, and whether it's people behind the scenes or people not being able to fulfill their own potential for their characters. There's been a lot of stuff that's been keeping the WWE from reaching its full potential, and a lot of things. I was thinking about this, so I'm glad I get to talk about this right now.
Go right ahead. Right, the floor is yours.
So WWE for years has lacked competition, and that was something that happened first when WCW
was
bought. They created the draft initially to create competition among themselves, and SmackDown and Raw were separated into 2 brands. Bam. And then for years, it was just that. And then TNA started coming up, and everyone was like, okay, TNA may or may not be a legitimate competition to WWE. Let's play it by ear. And for years, it was always what if, and eventually people got sick of the what if and stopped falling off the TNA bandwagon. And WWE went from the two brands to the one brand with the both shows again. It was the one WWE product, and then they had the Raw Super Show, and then the SmackDown, and then the main events or whatever it was. But then when Ring of Honor and New Japan started getting all this other buzz, and it became more popular in the States, it was like, okay, WWE, their one brand product, like with the 2 shows but one roster, is not really stacking up, because here are these companies with one roster who are doing amazing work with amazing wrestling and keeping people engaged for the whole show, and Raw wasn't able to do that. And because they were so focused on trying to make Raw the 3.4, the 4.0 rating that it was getting back in the 90s, and they weren't focusing much on SmackDown. SmackDown became the B show by default.
They made it the B show, unfortunately.
Because there was other competition and stuff that they had to worry about. But now they're at a point where, even though there is all this other competition, they're kind of making deals with these people now. Like, all right.
And they're more accepting of the indie darlings.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it has to go a lot with Daniel Bryan, but CM Punk too. And I tweeted this last night.
This guy, man.
On Twitter at Dox DaVinci, man. I tweeted this. If you don't believe me, I said none of this would have happened if it wasn't for CM Punk. So thank you, and I thank CM Punk, because without CM Punk, none of this would have happened. Without this guy right here,
there,
and you can quote me on this, and you can hold me accountable for this statement, man. Without this guy right here sparking what he sparked in the WWE, Daniel Bryan wouldn't have got the push that he got, and the change in the WWE that we have today would have never came. Well, I can't say never came, but it might not have came, and it was solely responsible for why we got to
because of this guy. Absolutely.
He did plant the seed. The seed was planted when he did the pipe bomb, when he campaigned for smaller wrestlers that aren't Vince's guy, to make it. I agree with that.
And
that's insightful.
And whether they changed the landscape in spite of CM Punk or because they realized he was right, it's here now, and we just got to be happy that it's here. And now it's
that's the thing. There's a big divide on the internet that aren't accepting it because they think it's in spite. But I'm with you. I'm just accepting it, man. My man Dean Ambrose is champion.
Exactly.
They invested in this. I have been praying for this man to be getting taken seriously as a main eventer. You don't understand, man. That's my favorite going on right now. And honestly, I think with even more freedom on the microphone and even more time in the ring, he could call me crazy. I'm not going to say he's another CM Punk, but he could fill in the voids that CM Punk left, because I really think with more freedom, he could be that anti-hero, edgy character.
Oh yeah, definitely. He has that character already where he's like anti-establishment. I'm not going to wear my trunks. I'm not going to wear.
I wear the tank top. He looks like he's ready for a fight. He doesn't look.
Like, you know, I mean, he looks like he should be waiting in line to get a ticket to watch these guys wrestle, but he's the champion. So he creates that relatable factor that may or may not have been missing from the WWE. You know, I mean, your champion's got to be somebody that can be relatable.
Yeah.
And that's why CM Punk was such a big draw, because a lot of people get frustrated at their boss and want to be able to lash out and speak out, and he was kind of the voice of the voiceless, and that wasn't just a catchy slogan.
That's who he is, man.
It is,
and Daniel Bryan too. Like he's relatable because he's the underdog. People don't want to see him at the top, and there's a lot of people that don't want to see you reach your full potential, even though they know you can. You could be the best. You could be the greatest thing that ever happened to what you do. People don't want to see you make it, and that was what Daniel Bryan was with the Authority. The Authority didn't think he could be champion. They didn't think he was the guy, and he got the support, he got the push that he needed, but from the fans, and he became the champion.
Yeah,
exactly.
And he beat 3 legitimate
on one
WWE,
Randy Orton, Batista,
2 future Hall of Famers,
and
3 future Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
I forgot Triple H isn't in the Hall of Fame yet. But soon enough.
It's only a matter of time.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's awesome that you bring up CM Punk, because if you just notice before CM Punk, the whole universe era, it was boring. Like, it was so stagnant. The title was constantly being changed from John Cena to Randy Orton. But as you know, no pun intended, well, John Cena is the face of the company. He's the top guy. I remember me and David not too long ago, like a day ago, 2 days ago, we did mention that, who would be the top guy to replace John Cena at that spot. Now, David says that there's not a person on the roster right now.
I don't think
Cena.
John Cena's successor's on WWE's environment yet.
I got to get your opinion on this.
I disagree.
You're
I think they just pulled him up. I think it's Finn Balor.
Okay.
Finn Balor. I don't
Right.
think it's right now, because all right, here's my theory. They called him up, but they called him up now for a reason, right? AJ Styles is on SmackDown, and he's going to be feuding with John Cena. The club is now on Raw with Finn Balor. The Balor Club. They're not just going to have that and then not address it ever. And right now, the club is a heel faction.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Stick with me.
Okay.
Oh, we are.
I'm with you.
So, Balor right now is facing Rollins for the Universal Championship. Which, by the way, on a side note, I really hate that name for a title.
I like the name.
What, Seth Rollins?
I didn't mind.
No. I like Seth Rollins. I think the Universal.
Oh, the Universal.
All right, that's a
It's
That's a different topic. We're staying with you.
All right, so they're fighting for the championship. It's going to be a classic wrestling match. SummerSlam's going to sell based on the wrestling factor of that match alone. It's going to be a 5-star match. I'm betting money on it. So WWE, I think, is going to pull the string on Roman Reigns and give him the heel turn that everyone so desperately wants. And for that to work, they're going to have Seth Rollins feud with him, but he's going to need to be a face. So how do you get Seth Rollins to be the face? You have Finn Balor as the heel and have the club help him out to win the championship.
Question, don't you see the money and the potential of Finn Balor being a
lovable guy, yeah.
T-shirts selling out and, being someone that the kids can believe in. Don't you think there's more money?
You think the
in being
fans
a
will
face?
boo him?
Yeah, because
Let's
he
be real.
has such an appealing wrestling style. He's likable. He's cool.
I think Balor's one of those guys where you cheer him when he's a bad guy because you love the fact that he's an amazing wrestler and you can't take it away from him. So you get those people behind him, and people are gonna buy his merchandise. He's not gonna come out as a heel right away. He's gonna start off as a face. It's gonna be face versus face, but you can't have a face versus face for long. So someone's gonna be the heel, you know what I mean? And right now Rollins is the heel, kind of, but he gets cheers. You know what I'm saying? He gets cheered. When he was facing Roman Reigns, he was the heel, but he got cheered.
He could be a better heel at the end of the day.
He could be a better heel,
yeah.
but Balor is gonna get that same kind of treatment, I think, where he's a heel, but he's not really a heel because everyone loves him so much. And that's kind of how it was for the club. The club was the bad guys.
A cool
AJ Styles,
yeah.
They're the cool guys. You know what I mean? AJ Styles got cheers every arena, even though he was a heel. He beat up John Cena and he still got cheered.
That is true.
And John Cena is John Cena. I mean, he gets his fair share of boos, but he gets his fair share of cheers
Yeah.
too. So like when you can still get cheers when you're beating up somebody like John Cena who gets all the kids.
You're
and
over.
With their giant market,
Definitely.
like they target the kids and the women and the children and the families. Like